Historic day. Broncos and Seahawks each score 100-yard defensive touchdowns. In an unprecedented feat, both the Denver Broncos and Seattle Seahawks recorded 100-yard defensive touchdowns on the same day, marking a first in NFL history. The rare occurrence captivated fans and showcased the explosive potential of defensive play. Patrick Surtain's game-changing pick six. The Broncos kicked off the action early in their matchup against the Las Vegas Raiders, with the Raiders leading 10-3 and threatening to score from the 5-yard line. Quarterback Gardner Minshew attempted a play-action pass to rookie tight end Brock Bowers. Instead, he found Broncos safety Patrick Surtain too, who made a stunning interception at the goal line. Surtain then dashed down the right sideline, running untouched for a 100-yard return that not only tied the game at 10-10 but shifted momentum in favor of the Broncos. They capitalized on this momentum to secure a commanding 34-18 victory over their rivals. Rayshawn Jenkins' incredible fumble return. Meanwhile, in Seattle, the Seahawks faced off against the New York Giants in a tense battle. Late in the first quarter, the Giants aimed to score on 4th and goal from the 1-yard line. Running back Eric Gray attempted to leap over the line but fumbled the ball instead. Seahawks safety Rayshawn Jenkins was quick to react, scooping up the loose ball in the end zone and sprinting 101 yards down the sideline for a touchdown, putting the Seahawks ahead 7-0. Despite Jenkins' heroics, the Giants ultimately staged a comeback, winning the game 29-20. Noteworthy non-offensive touchdowns. The action didn't stop there. Other games featured more defensive and special teams touchdowns. In Green Bay, Packers quarterback Jordan Love threw a risky pass while falling out of the back of the end zone, which was intercepted by Rams safety Jalen McCollough for a pick six, giving the Rams a brief lead at 13-7. However, the Packers rallied to win 24-19. In Santa Clara, the 49ers blocked a field goal attempt from Cardinals kicker Chad Ryland. Defensive back Diamador Lenoir picked up the loose ball and returned it 61 yards for a touchdown, pushing the 49ers ahead 20-10. However, the Cardinals rallied back for a stunning 24-23 victory. Conclusion. This remarkable day in NFL history, highlighted by two 100-yard defensive touchdowns, showcases the unpredictability and excitement of the league. As teams continue to innovate on both sides of the ball, fans can expect more thrilling moments throughout the season. Cowboys edge Steelers in thrilling Sunday Night Football showdown. In a nail-biting clash on Sunday Night Football, the Dallas Cowboys managed to slip past the Pittsburgh Steelers, thanks in large part to a standout performance from Dak Prescott and rising star Jalen Tolbert. Despite committing 3 turnovers, the Cowboys found a way to clinch victory in the final minute. Dak Prescott shines amidst challenges. Dak Prescott has long faced criticism for his inability to convert impressive stats into meaningful wins. This season, he ranks 3rd in the NFL for passing yards, and his connection with Jalen Tolbert proved vital in this matchup. While the Cowboys' air attack showed flashes of brilliance, their ground game faced hurdles, particularly with defensive struggles in the rushing department. Defensive concerns for the Cowboys. Though Dallas managed to limit the New York Giants to just 26 rushing yards in a previous game, their overall run defense has struggled, ranking near the bottom of the league. The absence of key interior lineman DeMarcus Lawrence for at least a month due to a foot injury adds to these worries, especially against a Steelers offense that excels in the ground game. Steelers ground game tested. The 3-1 Steelers entered the game boasting a top 10 rushing offense, with quarterback Justin Fields still finding his rhythm. With Russell Wilson approaching a return from injury, the Steelers' offense will rely heavily on their running game to keep pace in the competitive AFC North. Head coach Mike Tomlin knows that with a strong defense, ranked 2nd in points allowed and 4th in yards allowed, he needs a reliable game manager to help push the team to 4-1 and challenge the surging Baltimore Ravens. Key moments of the game. In a contest that featured fluctuating momentum, the Cowboys' ability to capitalize in critical moments ultimately made the difference. Prescott's resilience in overcoming turnovers showcased his leadership, while Tolbert's emerging talent provided a much-needed spark in the passing game. As both teams looked to build on their performances, The Cowboys aim to solidify their standing in the NFC, while the Steelers will seek to sharpen their offensive strategy to complement their formidable defense. This game serves as a reminder that in the NFL, every possession counts, and resilience can turn the tide in the final moments. Sean McDermott's coaching decisions raise serious questions for Bills' Super Bowl aspirations. The Buffalo Bills' recent loss to the Houston Texans has left fans and analysts scratching their heads, and for good reason. With just 30 seconds remaining in a tightly contested 20-20 game, the Bills found themselves on their own 3-yard line, instead of running the ball to manage the clock and potentially push for overtime. Head coach Sean McDermott made the baffling decision to throw 3 consecutive passes. All 3 were incomplete, leaving the Texans in a prime position to secure a game-winning field goal, which they did, sealing a 23-20 victory. A coaching malpractice? It's hard to comprehend the rationale behind such a risky strategy. With Josh Allen, an undoubtedly talented quarterback, at the helm, one might be tempted to go for a big play. However, this was a situation fraught with danger. Throwing from your own end zone increases the risk of a safety, which would have resulted in an immediate loss. The decision to air it out was not just risky, it bordered on reckless. After the game, McDermott took responsibility, acknowledging, "That's on me," and conceded that a more prudent approach would have been to run the clock down. This admission, while refreshing, does little to assuage the concerns about his decision-making in critical moments. Timing and execution issues. What makes this decision even more perplexing is that the passing game had struggled throughout the contest. Allen completed just 9 of 27 passes, apart from a single touchdown throw to rookie Keon Coleman. In a high-stakes situation where a conservative approach was warranted, McDermott leaned into a failing aspect of the offense, showcasing poor judgment that directly contributed to the Bills' defeat. Implications for the season. Despite the setback, the Bills, 3-2, remain in a relatively strong position within the AFC East, primarily due to the struggles of their division rivals. However, they must curb these self-inflicted wounds if they hope to contend for a Super Bowl. With another embarrassing loss to the Ravens just a week prior, the Bills cannot afford to keep shooting themselves in the foot against strong teams in the conference. The Texans, now 4-1, hold a tiebreaker over the Bills, which could prove crucial for playoff seeding later in the season. Looking forward, while this loss does not signal the end of the Bills' season, it raises serious concerns about McDermott's ability to lead the team effectively. For Buffalo to reach its Super Bowl aspirations, they need to approach games with the seriousness and strategy that match their talent level. The clock is ticking, and the pressure is mounting, starting with the head coach, who must demonstrate that he can guide his team through crucial moments without falling into disarray. As the season unfolds, fans and analysts alike will be watching closely to see if McDermott can rectify these mistakes and steer the Bills back on course. Caleb Williams vs. Bryce Young, the fallout of a costly trade. In a matchup that showcased the diverging paths of 2 young quarterbacks, Caleb Williams and Bryce Young, the Carolina Panthers found themselves in a tough spot, as the Chicago Bears reaped the benefits of their trade. A sideline spectator, while the Bears' Caleb Williams shined on the field, Bryce Young was relegated to the sidelines, headset on, watching as his team trailed by 20 points. Despite trying to stay engaged and supportive, this wasn't what the Panthers envisioned when they traded multiple first-round picks for Young. Expectations versus reality. The Panthers anticipated Young would step in and perform right away. Unlike his current stats, 11 touchdowns to 10 interceptions, a 59.8% completion rate, and an astonishing 62 sacks. Meanwhile, Williams has quickly established himself as a star in Chicago. The impact of DJ Moore. As the game progressed, it became clear that the Bears' key players, especially DJ Moore, a former Panther, were crucial to their success. Moore scored 2 touchdowns, both thanks to his new quarterback, Williams. His performance highlighted just how much the Panthers missed his presence, especially on a day when their offense sputtered. Young's limited role. Young finally entered the game in the last moments but managed only a few completions. Although his coach noted that he looked comfortable, it was a stark contrast to Williams, who completed 20 of 29 passes for 304 yards and 2 touchdowns without a single turnover. Supporting cast. While Young struggled behind a shaky offensive line, Williams benefited from a strong supporting cast, including a top-10 defense and multiple weapons in the passing game. This difference in support systems underscores the Panthers' miscalculation in trading up for Young. The bigger picture. The fallout from this trade is significant, not just for these two quarterbacks, but for their franchises as a whole. The Panthers' gamble has backfired, while the Bears are on an upward trajectory thanks to their strategic moves. Looking ahead, as the Bears prepare for their next game in England, they are riding high on their recent victory and the growing chemistry between Williams and Moore. For the Panthers, the road ahead looks challenging, but the hope remains that Young can eventually find his footing. This rewritten version aims to grab viewers' attention while succinctly summarizing the key points of the original content. Let me know if you need further adjustments. Lamar Jackson delivers the TD of the year in epic fourth-quarter comeback. Video. In a thrilling showdown, the Baltimore Ravens pulled off a stunning 41-38 victory over the Cincinnati Bengals, showcasing an incredible second-half surge with 5 consecutive touchdowns. But the highlight of the game came with just over 5 minutes left when Lamar Jackson delivered a jaw-dropping touchdown pass that will be remembered for ages. After a bobbled snap, Jackson not only recovered the ball but also showcased his strength by throwing the defender to the ground before firing a perfect dart to Isaiah Likely. Check out the incredible play in the video above. With the Ravens trailing, this pivotal moment turned the tide, bringing the score to 38-35. Justin Tucker then tied the game with a stunning 56-yard field goal with just 1:40 left, pushing the game into overtime. In a dramatic finish, Evan McPherson missed a 53-yard field goal attempt that could have sealed the win for the Bengals. Instead, Derrick Henry electrified the crowd with a 51-yard run to the Bengals' 7-yard line, setting the stage for Tucker's game-winning 24-yard field goal. It was an unforgettable clash in the AFC North, reminiscent of playoff intensity even this early in the season. Don't miss the highlights. Watch the video now.